Hi there. This is a new resolution. This is the highest resolution I can make the game to be, and I'm just wondering if this looks better or worse than the original content I upload. So please give me some feedback on the resolution in the comment section, if you will, while I look at this Uranus mirror sent in by some guy. His username is in the title of this video, his YouTube username, that is. So if you guys want to send in clips, you can upload them to an uploading site like Mediafire, Dropbox, anything you desire, and then just send me the direct link so I can download it. Yeah, that's how you send in clips, and I'm not sure why it's oh, there, that's good. It was just lagging a bit. Anyways, this video is not gonna be about the gameplay. I just had to pull up a random clip because I'm not gonna be discussing the clip at all. So basically, if I decided to make a video just about talking, I pull up a random clip, usually sent in by a person, which is not that interesting. This will be interesting, I'm assuming, since I haven't seen it yet. But like, it's hard to say. Like, I usually pull up clips that are extra and make the video interesting, but you know, even if I don't talk about it, it's hard to explain. So I don't like to pull up pro matches because those, yeah, go along better with commentary, you know. So anyways, this episode I just want to do a story time. This is the first story time I'm doing, and once again, you guys can have feedback at the end of, well, after you watch the end of this video. You can have feedback telling me if you like the entire video or not, because this is not gonna be a normal video. I'm just gonna be talking about my AoM life. So yeah, anyways, I started way back in like 2004 or earlier, and the reason why I started Age of Mythology was because my dad played Age of Empires 2 and whatnot. Basically everybody in Europe played Age of Empires 2 at my like area, I guess. And when I was young, I just watched my dad and other people play, you know. And I just I was playing Age of Empires 1 actually, so I was getting into Age of Empires 1. And then later on, I got into 2. Well, I didn't actually get into it. I was just playing with, you know, family and stuff. And then later we moved to America. And America, we, that's where my dad started playing Age of Mythology, not the Titans. This was only the Mythology. And then after I watched the game, we decided to buy it for my brother and I as well. So us three played with each other, against each other, stuff like that, you know. And it was pretty fun. Like, I was a total noob. I had, well, not, it's hard to say because I had an idea of what the game was about, but I was like 8 or 10 years old. So when you're that young, it's really hard to actually play good because you can't really focus. It's hard to explain. Like, you just mess around. You find the game fun, but you just mess around, and it's not really that intense. I can't explain, but yeah. So back then I played games with my brother and my dad, and we usually 2v1 my dad since he was better than us. And this guy got housed. He's not that good of a player, but he was better than us, so we could 2v1 him and stuff. And my main god back then was actually Loki, just because, you know, I found the free myth spawn OP, and I always did a forward base and tried to rush others, but like, by rush I mean, you know, 15-minute attack or something like that. Like, I have no idea when I attacked. Obviously I didn't even have the timer there, it was just like this. And yeah, it was interesting, but my main focus back then was not supremacy, it was actually scenario design. So I've been doing lots of scenario design back then, and I had almost no idea what the editor was about either, but I still made maps without any triggers, since I didn't know how to use triggers. I made maps without any triggers, and then my dad and I usually played them together. Well, my brother also played, sorry, yeah. So us three usually played on custom maps each of us made, and that was that. Later on, my dad quit. I started playing online, and my first online username was actually Balintnilab. Whoops. Wait a minute, did I spell it right? Balintnilab. Yeah, that was my first username, and I think I had like a 12 at the end or something. No, maybe it was a 10. Something like that, because I was really young when I made that account. You know, and I had 2 numbers at the end, but that was my username. The reason why I had that is because this is my first name, Balint, B-A-L-I-N-T, and then I just reversed that and added it back to the end. So that was my online username back then. and you know, I was just messing around, playing lots of scenarios. I was like a 1500 player or something like that. Actually, I didn't play rated back then, so I don't know how bad I was. But you know, mostly scenarios is what I was playing with others and stuff online. So that was that. And I remember making scenarios like I had no idea how to change the player count, as well as I had no idea how to do any triggers. So all the maps I made had 9 players, because that's the original setting that you must change manually. But I had no idea how to change it back then. So all my maps were 9-player games, and you know, they were really newbie maps. Like there's one called Blue Wars, which meant that the entire map was a blue land terrain with infinite resources, so you could kill the enemy. But I don't know, I had really noob maps back then. And obviously, none of these players are pro. They're actually, like, I think they're not good. Like, maybe noob or med. At least noob, maybe med. Because, obviously, this guy got delayed like 20 to 30 seconds on High Hunt, which is not supposed to happen on High Hunt, because there's nothing that can delay you. And if you run out of food, then you can just get a pick quickly and still get a good advance. But yeah, these guys are really delayed. But anyways, back to the story. Oh, he's doing a boom. He still got delayed even if it was a boom. But yeah, interesting. I'm just getting distracted by the game. So let me just think what I was gonna talk about. Oh yeah. Just continuing my story. Yeah, back then, let's see, what kind of scenarios? I played, you know, all sorts of scenarios, so I'm really familiar with all the different common scenarios of Age of Mythology that people play. And yeah, I've had lots of experience with the scenarios, but I've mainly just been, you know, funning around with people, friends and stuff like that. The thing is, I had like a list of 100 plus people on my online friends list, and every single one of those people I could distinguish, meaning I, you know, knew those people. Like, I didn't actually know them in real life, but as a friend I knew those people. So that's how fun it was. Like, I had so many people to chat with and stuff like that. And he's not making villagers, nice. But yeah, that was pretty good. And yeah, we're just having fun with making scenarios and sharing it with each other, scenario testing, stuff like that. But meanwhile, I also started to get into Supremacy, and I was not a low-key player anymore. As soon as I got the Titans, I started playing Chronos, and ever since then I have only played Chronos. So for like 6 years I've played only Chronos. Like, I know I can play others, or used to kind of play others, but you know, Chronos was my main god and I was only good at Chronos. Nowadays I finally started playing other gods. Well, Uranus is basically the same. I mean, like, I started playing Isis and Thor and stuff like that, but you know, actually Uranus is different too. So as soon as I switched to Uranus in the modern days, I think that distinguished me from a medium and a medium plus or whatever you guys. Well, in rating, I think that's what distinguishes a 16 something from a 17 something. And I'm not that pro. Like, I always hate bragging, so I try not to talk about pro-ness or anything, because I'm not pro, I'm more like a noob. But you know, I think switching to Uranus means you do have a lot more skill than you used to earlier, because you now understand the differences between the two. But anyways, that's not my old life, that's my modern life, AoM life. So let me just backtrack a bit. Let's see, how was it? I gotta think. I remember that obviously I played lots of scenarios, like hundreds upon hundreds of Tiny. Well, that was more modern. Back then though, I used to play lots of Supremacy, and I remember that I was always stuck on the 1550 rating mark. I could not beat 1550. 1550 was just a rating that even if I beat, I just got down to it again. Like, I always lost and got to 1650 again. So, I mean 1550. 1550 was always the number for like at least a year that I've been stuck on. And after a while, I finally got higher than 1550. Like, it's hard to explain, but you know, I finally learned some mistakes that I was making. I'm not exactly sure why I was at 1550 anymore, but back then I finally learned the mistakes and stuff like that. But that took a while. So after that while, I finally got 1650, and by the time I got that, lots of friends quit. Like, all the original 100 friends that I used to have quit. So after that, you know, I had different people, but I still kind of miss some of those people, because some of those taught me so many simple things, and it was so fun to design scenarios and whatnot. But yeah, it's just hard to explain. It's pretty fun. Later on, I actually met up with Strike. Well, his original name was the Male Player, but nowadays, or at least in the past few years, like 2 years ago, he's known as OceanXC Strike, and I think that's a capital C. Sorry. OceanXC Strike. So we are the two Strikes, and we have been for years, but he kind of quit. I'm pretty sure I mentioned him in earlier videos. He was like the most recent favorite player, because, you know, before that, all my friends quit, like I said. And yeah, he was basically my partner. Like, after I got 1650-ish on average, we were basically scenario partners. I think he was even my partner before I got 1650. I'm not exactly sure how long ago I met him, that's the question. Sorry, this is distracting me. They're really making so many mistakes, but I don't want to, you know, point them all out. But whatever, yeah. He was a really fun guy. We're just partners, making scenarios, playing Supremacy, basically doing everything on AoM together. So it's pretty fun to have partners, you know, like people who do the same stuff as you in AoM. And that's another thing. People think Age of Mythology is only about, you know, Supremacy play. Well, nowadays it is because everybody quit. But it used to be about so many things, scenario design, or just scenario map skill. Like, some people only play Tiny, Zelda, and Rift Civ. There were actually clans just for those maps, and you know, there are also Supremacy clans, obviously, but nowadays people only play Supremacy on AoM because, well, not mostly, because, you know, all the people quit. So there's no such category anymore as scenario design, because nobody makes maps, or if they do, nobody's gonna notice the maps because they don't get viral anymore. So that's that. And the last viral map I remember is World Roleplay. I don't know if Force Escape came after World Roleplay. I think it did. But those are the last two viral maps I remember. Ever since then, no maps got viral. Because, you know, they just don't do scenario design anymore. I mean, I wish it would still be accepted to do scenario design and people would still play all the new scenarios. But because they don't, that's why I quit the editor. I don't make maps anymore. Which used to be my favorite thing of the game, making maps and stuff like that. But, you know, that's just the past. So yeah, nowadays Supremacy is fun as well. What else do I have? I guess I can actually track onto my modern days. So at 1650, well, where was I actually? I remember talking about 1650 and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I remember, like, when I was at 1650, that was my next mark that I was always stuck on. Like, I could not beat 1650. So while I was stuck on that for more than a year, I've had more people that I always played with. There's one called MPG Happiness. If you guys know that person, then I really have respect for you, because that was like a really crazy but fun partner who had the same taunts as me. Speaking of taunts, I have taunts that range from... Basically, I have hundreds of taunts, like, in total more than 400 plus custom taunts. You guys can download them if you want, and we can mess around with them. But this player had all of my custom taunts, not mine. They're not my taunts. It's just that I use them, so I call them mine. But, yeah. Now, what was I saying? Yeah, that person also made scenarios, and we were also always messing around in scenario maps and stuff like that. And the best part was that that person was also a troll, like me, like I was. So we always trolled others, and when we joined World Roleplay hosting sessions, we always just crashed the game and stuff like that. You know, we used to troll people a lot. So it was really fun, yeah. I wish that one person would not have quit, because the game was just so much more fun with that person. And if the person would still play, then I'd have so many trolling videos out there. But, you know, I don't want to spam you with one type of video, so I don't spam those. Yeah, now, I'm gonna try to remember what, like, topic I was gonna talk about, because I kind of got lost in track. Every time I have to pause the recording, I learned that I have to click here and then press the hotkey to stop, because if I don't, then if I press F9, the record game closes. That's really annoying, but I just learned that I have to click here and then I can press F9, so it just simply pauses. So anyways, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna try to remember what I was gonna talk about. Alright, I've been I realized I've been tracking this video too much. I mean, like, stretching it too much near one topic. So I'll just move on more to the modern life of my AoM. I started basically video making less than 2 years ago, but more than 1 year ago. That was when I was really bored one summer. Basically, I wasn't bored, but it's the fact that every good friend of AoM quit. Like, all the good friends I had on AoM. Gaming partners, I don't know if I want to call them friends. I'd rather call them gaming partners because, you know, they're not real life friends. So all the partners I had quit, and it was pretty sad. Like, you know, I had nobody to play with and stuff like that. So I decided to start making videos because I was bored, and my goal was to get 100 subscribers, to get a small community. And as you guys should know, 100 is the number that I approximately had back when I started. You know, I had 100 people I knew, not personally once again, but 100 partners that I, you know, could play with, and they were really fun. So my goal for this channel was 100 people that I could, you know, just engage with. And I was thinking that when I got 100, I could, you know, just host events and stuff like that, and the community could participate, and that it'll be really fun again. Like, AoM would be back. That was my goal for this channel, 100 people. It obviously got past that. But as a YouTuber, I learned that the amount of subscribers you have, half of those are inactive. So I have like 1,200 right now. About 600 are inactive. So 600 are active viewers, and then like less than half of those play from time to time. Not with me, but like they play Mythology, you know. The other half don't really play; they just watch. Which I understand, since I watch lots of people that don't play the games anymore. But yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna cut off my story because I just want to rage at this guy. Why did he make 4 counter barracks, all looping Terma, not even making Murmillo, not looping myth units, not looping villagers? Oh my god. I can't even watch this. I don't know why I selected this clip, but his YouTube name is right there at the top above this video. That's who sent it. Wait, is it below? I don't know the new YouTube update, sorry. I thought that the title of the video is above the video, but it might be below. So wherever the title is, that's the user who sent this. But before the game ends, it's about to end right now. I'm just gonna quickly finish my story. Okay, so I started video making, and it's hard to say, but like I took video making way too seriously. Not video making itself, but just commentating way too seriously. Because when I look back at any clip from 6 months or more ago, then I find it hard to watch because it's so boring. It's so frustrating to watch. I don't know, for me it's frustrating because I was just so serious back then. I had like no sense of humor when I was commentating. I didn't have enthusiasm. It was all about just flat out commentating like this. So he's moving his term, as you can see, and the Murmillo are gonna attack him. Oh, he didn't micro it. You know, I made commentaries like that. So those were, I don't know if they're boring or not, but I really hate my old videos. Like anything from 6 months ago, I hate. So it's hard to say, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hate this very same video in 6 months because every new half a year I just hate my old videos because of new reasons. So if we look back at my June clips, I hated those because, you know, that's when I still took everything seriously. I had enthusiasm then, like I was starting to gain enthusiasm, but I took everything way too seriously. And if I look back at 3-month-old videos, they were getting good, but I didn't, for that my problem is that I didn't know exactly what to commentate or talk about at certain times, mainly because I kind of learned more about this game in the past 3 months. So yeah, I kind of cut my story short, but that's mostly my AoM life. You know, I've been into scenario design, I've had gaming partners, I've had lots and lots of fun with the taunts. So I'm not advertising or anything, but if you guys want to get the taunts, and they're really fun to mess around with, you can download them. There's a link in the description. Is there anything else I want to announce in this video? There's not really much. I just wanted to talk about my AoM life, basically. So if you enjoyed this story time or did not, please tell me in the comments your feedback of this video, because I would like to know if you guys hate story times. If you don't hate them, I'm not gonna spam them, don't worry, but I might have a second story time out later sometime. So yeah, hope you guys don't hate the story times. If you do, then this is the only story time video you will ever see on this channel. And besides that, oh yes, please tell me if you like the new resolution. This is 1920 by 1080, the maximum it can get, because that's my computer screen size. So the thing I hate about the resolution is that the text is small, but the images are still the same size. So it's hard to explain, but all the images on the page, like the main menu, are still the same size, except the text is tiny, so it's hard to read. So if you guys hate this resolution because it's hard to read the text, like right there, please tell me. I will revert back to the normal resolution. I would just like to know if my video quality is better or changed at all with this resolution. And also, as you can see, look at the God powers. You can see those tiny squares duplicated. So this resolution is not supposed to be applied to the game. It's just forced onto it. So not all the things are like matching, you know, the aspect ratio or whatever you want to say. So yeah, that's the resolution. And I'm pretty sure I forgot to say something about my stories, but I'm not exactly sure what. But I think that's about it. I've been talking way too much. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'm not gonna say that's about it one more time because I said like 5 billion times. That is clearly the end of our story. Haha, you see what I did there. See ya.